My dear learners, kindly give a thumbs up in the comment section below if I am audible and visible to all of you so that we can begin this particular session. So I'm getting some responses from the people here, and my dear learners, once again a warm welcome to all of you in the today's daily current affairs session on EduTap, and I hope all of you are healthy and preparing well for our upcoming exams. And when we talk about exams, then current affairs plays a really very important part. And my dear learners, the PIB is the very important source of these current affairs, and that is the reason that I am back with a very interesting session in which we will be discussing the top PIB news from the month of November 2021. Okay, so my dear learners, here is a list of topics that we will be discussing in the today's session. But before moving on to the session, if you are new to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can also join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of these lectures. To join the Telegram channel, kindly click on the link given in the description below. And my dear learners, I am glad to announce that we are running a weekend sale in which we are offering 40% plus additional 10% off on various courses such as for RBI Grade B, SEBI Grade A, NABARD Grade A and other various courses. But in order to avail this particular offer, you are required to use the code weekend. And my dear learners, please make sure that you are using this particular code only between 18th November to 21st November, because this code is only valid till 21st of November 2021. So now moving on to the session, and my dear learners, here is the two topics that we will be discussing in the today's session. The first topic is the Sustainable Development Cell, and the next topic is the New Model Concession Agreement 2021 for PPP for ports. So these are the two topics that we will be discussing in our today's session. And my dear learners, let's move on to the session. Let's get started. So here is the very first question on your screen, and all of you are requested to answer the question in the comment section below. So please tell me in the comment section below that which one of the following ministries has recently set up the Sustainable Development Cell. So my dear learners, we all know that during COP26, which has held recently, India's Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has made a pledge that India is going to achieve net zero carbon emissions by year 2070. And in order to contribute towards this particular target, one of the Indian ministries has recently set up a Sustainable Development Cell. And please tell me in the comment section below that which one of the following ministries has set up this Sustainable Development Cell. Whether it is Ministry of Earth Sciences, Ministry of Coal, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Ministry of Steel, or the Ministry of Science and Technology. So let's find out the answer to this particular question by discussing this news in detail. So here you can see the headline from the PIB itself, and my dear learners, it says that the Coal Ministry has accelerated the sustainable development efforts. And how this particular ministry has accelerated its efforts? By constituting a Sustainable Development Cell. So my dear learners, I hope that you have got the right answer to this particular question. But now let's discuss this news in much more detail, and let's see that what exactly this Sustainable Development Cell is all about. See, Coal Ministry has recently constituted the Sustainable Development Cell, but the major focus area behind that is to put major thrust on the sustainable development in the coal mining, and as well as taking care of its environmental and social impact. So in order to keep a track and to take care of the environmental and social impact caused by the mining activities, the coal mining, the Coal Ministry has constituted this Sustainable Development Cell. And my dear learners, if we talk about this cell, then in order to minimize the adverse impacts of mining, the Sustainable Development Cell has been constituted by the Coal Ministry. And apart from advising, mentoring and planning the action to achieve this particular target of minimizing the adverse impact of mining, the Sustainable Development Cell is also going to work on the future policy framework for the environmental mitigation in the coal and lignite sector of our country. And that is the reason that the Sustainable Development Cell has been recently constituted by the Coal Ministry. And apart from that, another important initiative has been taken by the Coal Ministry, that is the first mile connectivity. See, this is once again another important initiative taken in order to minimize the environmental pollution. And how this is going to and how it is going to minimize the environmental pollution, then my dear learners, under the first mile connectivity, the coal is being transported through the conveyor belts and not from the road. And that is the reason, by eliminating the movement of the coal through the road, they are targeting of reducing the environmental pollution. That's how, as you can directly see from this particular statement here, that the under the first mile connectivity, the coal is being transported through the conveyor belt from coal handling plants to silo for loading. And that's how this process eliminates the movement of coal through the road. And that is the reason that this particular first mile connectivity initiative has been launched. And my dear learners, I want to add here that 39 such projects have been planned by the coal ministry to be commissioned by 2023-2024 with an investment of rupees 13,000 crore. And apart from this, I want to add one more point here, that Coal India Limited is planning to enhance its mechanical loading and transport of coal, and it is going to enhance its capacity of the mechanical loading and transport of coal from 120 million tons to 565 million tons. And my dear learners, what exactly will be the time period to achieve this target? They have put on the time limit of 2023 to 2024. That means this target will be achieved by this particular year, that is 2023 to 2024. And my dear learners, how it is going to impact? See, this is also be having an economical impact, as this particular step of the Coal India Limited is going to save them diesel of rupees 2100 crore rupees. And that is the reason that this particular initiative has been launched by the Coal India Limited. So I hope that this particular part is once again very much clear to all of you. And my dear learners, now we are moving towards the question, and now I really believe that all of you will be able to answer the question correctly. And the question is, which one of the following ministries has recently set up the Sustainable Development Cell? So my dear learners, the right answer to this particular question will be option B, that is Ministry of Coal. So that is the right answer to this question, and I hope that this particular topic is very much clear to all of you. And now, my dear learners, we are moving towards the next topic of our today's session, and the next question is here on your screen. So which one of the following is the correct statement regarding the Model Concession Agreement MCA 2021 for the PPP projects at major ports held recently? So my dear learners, this particular Model Concession Agreement has been recently released by the Government of India, and that's how this particular topic is really very important. And that is the reason that I am marking the star here, that this topic is really very important from the exam point of view. So let's find out the answer to this particular topic by discussing this news in detail, that what exactly the Model Concession Agreement is all about, and what are the recent changes which have been made in this particular Model Concession Agreement 2021. So my dear learners, here you can see from the headline from the PIB itself, that Shri Sarbananda Sonowal has announced the new Model Concession Agreement 2021, and this agreement has been announced for the public-private partnership projects at major ports. Okay, so before discussing this news in much more detail, you are required to understand that what exactly this Model Concession Agreement is all about. See, it is an agreement which is being signed between a private entity and the Government of India. Okay, and this particular agreement is called the Model Concession Agreement, in order to which is going to be the core of the public private partnership projects in India. And my dear learners, apart from that, this Model Concession Agreement also spell out all the policy and regulatory frameworks for the implementation of the public private partnership projects in India. So apart from being a policy and the regulatory framework and the core of these PPP projects in India, it also caters to the critical issues which are related to these PPP, that is the public private projects in our country. And what exactly are these issues? This can be related to the mitigation and bundling of the risks, the allocation of risks and returns, as well as the reduction of the transaction costs and termination. So my dear learners, I hope that this Model Concession Agreement is very much clear to all of you. And now I want to add here that this Model Concession Agreement was first ever launched in year 2008. Okay, and After that, it was subsequently revised in year 2018, and now once again it has been revised, and now the new model concession agreement 2021 for the PPP projects at major ports has been released by the government of India. And my dear learners, this particular model concession agreement will be applicable to all the future PPP projects at the major ports, and apart from these future PPP projects, it will also be applicable on the projects which have been already approved by the government but they are still under the bidding stage. Okay, so this applicability of this MCA have been mentioned here. Now if we talk about the key changes which have been introduced by the government in this model concession agreement 2021, then my dear learners, here the very first important change that is being introduced for the very first time in the model concession agreement is the provision of change in cargo. See, what exactly was happening earlier is due to some change in law or the unforeseen events, due to some external and unforeseen factors, the traffic of some certain commodities used to drop down, and that caused the and that impacted the overall viability of the terminals. And my dear learners, that is the reason that this particular provision of change in cargo has been introduced by the government in this model concession agreement. Apart from that, this particular new model concession agreement has also the provision of providing flexibility to the concessionaires. And who are these concessionaires? Concessionaires are those private entities which have signed this agreement with the government of India, and this provides flexibility to the concessionaires to fix their tariff based on the market conditions. And that's how, in order to make them compete with the private ports which are already present. Okay, and to create such kind of level playing field, this kind of provision, this kind of facility has been provided under the new model concession agreement 2021. Okay, apart from that, my dear learners, apart from that, in order to reduce the risk to the lenders and to make these projects more bankable, the provision of compensation for the concessionaire's event of default has also been added in this model concession agreement 2021. And my dear learners, this was all the key takeaway from this particular news article. Apart from that, if we talk about the projects which are presently running in India, then there are 80 ongoing projects with the investment of 56,000 crore which are going to be benefited from this particular new model concession agreement 2021. Apart from that, the government has also announced that there are 31 projects which are in the pipeline, and the cost of them will be rupees 14,600 crore, and they will be awarded on this public private partnership till fiscal year 2025. So that's how these 31 ongoing projects, and apart from that, the upcoming projects in the future, that is 31 more projects, we are also going to get benefit under this model concession agreement 2021. So I hope that all this particular topic is very much clear to all of you. And now, my dear learners, let's move back to the question. And now all of you are requested to answer the question in the comment section below, that which one of the following is the correct statement. See, before answering the question, I always tell you that kindly read out the question very carefully, that what exactly the question is demanding. See, this question is asking for the correct statements regarding the model concession agreement 2021 for the PPP projects at major ports held recently. So my dear learners, please tell me in the comment section below that what exactly is the right answer to this particular question. Which one of the following are the correct statements regarding the model concession agreement 2021 for PPP projects? And my dear learners, if we talk about the right answer to this question, the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above. That means all these statements which are being mentioned here about the MCA Act 2021 are correct. So my dear learners, that was once again a very important topic that you must cover very comprehensively from the exam point of view, and I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And now we are moving towards the revision question series. See, in the revision question series, we bring a topic before you which we have already discussed in our previous sessions. So in case you have missed those sessions, then you can revise that particular topic from the question itself. And my dear learners, here the revision question is on your screen. So this particular question is about the Indian Space Association, which has been launched recently, and all of you are requested to quickly go through these particular statements. And once again, I am adding here that kindly read out the question very carefully. It is asking about the correct statement regarding the Indian Space Association. So if we talk about the first statement, it is saying that this particular Indian Space Association has been launched to contribute towards the accelerated development of India's space industry and making the country a leading player in this segment. If we talk about the statement 2, its founding members include Bharti Airtel, Larsen and Toubro, Nelco, OneWeb, Map My India, and so on. Okay, apart from that, if we talk about the third statement says that this L&T NXT Senior Executive Vice President for Defense Jayant Patil has been appointed as the first Director General of the Indian Space Association, while Bharti Airtel's Chief Regulatory Officer Rahul Vats will serve as the Vice Chairman. So my dear learners, please tell me in the comment section below that what exactly is the right answer to this particular question. And if we talk about the right answer is option B, that is both statement 1 and 2 are correct. So what exactly the wrong component in the third statement? Let's discuss this now. So the third statement says that Jayant Patil has been appointed as the first Director General. But my dear learners, Jayant Patil has not been appointed as the first Director General. The first Director General of Indian Space Association is retired Lieutenant General A.K. Bhatt. Okay. So kindly note down this name. He has been appointed as the first Director General of the Indian Space Association. And now please tell me in the comment section below then, if Lieutenant General A.K. Bhatt is the first Director General, then on which position the Jayant Patil has been appointed in the Indian Space Association. And my dear learners, that was the only question that I was having today for you in this revision question series. So I really hope that this particular question was very much clear to all of you. And now coming to the queries, then Sanket is saying that PIB is enough for the RBI Grade B Phase 2 exam. See, PIB is really a very important source of the current affairs from which the questions are being framed in the examination. So PIB is not enough, but yes, it is really a very important source to be covered when we talk about the exam. Okay, as we all know that in RBI there are lot of other important current affairs as well, like the current affairs which are related to finance, which are being covered in various other important resources such as The Hindu and Live Mint. So my dear learners, this PIB is a must do, but it is not enough that I want to add here. Okay, so I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And my dear learners, I really hope that today's session was very useful and fruitful to all of you. And if you have any queries, then you can drop us a mail at hello@edutap.co.in. And my dear learners, you can also call us at 8146207241. So I hope that today's session was useful and fruitful to all of you. If you have liked the session, then please give a thumbs up in the comment section below. And now we are concluding this particular session. So thank you for joining us. Wish you all